Hi guys, welcome. I hope you can hear me. I hope you can see anything. I'm not seeing people here, so anybody here, guys? Or did I mess up my timings? Let me check, guys. Oh, great, hi. So, welcome to Tawern Temple. We are in the middle of the woods, so I hope my signal behaves. I checked it earlier, so it should be okay. I had at least 2 to 3 bars. We are here in front of an old Roman temple. We are, as you can see, really in the middle of the woods here. Our temple was built in the 1st century. But first let me give you some nice spring flowers here. So, looks really nice today. We got 4 o'clock, about 18 degrees, sunshine, and really lovely weather today. We are going into our temple, but first we are going into our profane building. So they probably had stables here, they had maybe a kitchen, places where people could rest, could spend the night. It's still used today by hikers to put up tents at night here, so really a lovely place. And in Roman times we were about half a day to a day from Trier. Today it's about half an hour, 40 minutes by car. And in Roman times, when you traveled, you often went to temples. Oh, do you still get buffering, or is it okay? It tells me I got a good signal. I hope you don't get buffering any longer. So when you traveled in Roman times, you often stopped at temples just to sacrifice to the gods, to give them something in the hope they would protect you. So it was normal for you to stop. And the Romans had many gods, so our temple is for Mercury, but here you see how you could have traveled in Roman times, but only if you were rich. So normal people had to take an ox wagon or to walk, and you walked, I would say, not more than 30 miles per day probably. And I have no idea about the English names of the flowers. Sorry guys. We got some Roman maps here. The Romans even had maps, but not everybody had them. So if you traveled, you asked other people where to go to. So if you wanted to travel to Rome, you asked on the way. And if you traveled to Rome from Trier, it took you at least 20 days by wagon, a lot longer if you walked. So really difficult and dangerous if you traveled. I mean, people could try and steal your things, they could try and kill you, or they could try and kidnap you and sell you as a slave. So things you don't want to happen. And that's why you stopped in temples, offered something to the gods in the hopes they would protect you. And we will be going down here towards our temple. Oh, I hope it will be better down here because I've got the same signal than I had in town, so I hope it will be better, guys. If not, I have to come back and film it for you. But hopefully it will be better inside of our temple. We usually have the best signal at the main entrance down here. So we came through a side entrance and we will be entering our temple now. And during the 1st century until the middle to the end of the 4th century, they used this temple, and then Christianity became more prominent and later on state religion, and you were not allowed to sacrifice in public for temples, for gods any longer. But now imagine you are a Roman, you made it until Tawern today. Tomorrow it's the last part of your trip, going to Trier. So you see this really, really pretty temple. And you can even see Trier in a few minutes. And all those temples here were reconstructed during the last century. So it's 20th century, but some of the walls are still original. So our outer wall here is original. Our sewage canals, which we are going to see quite soon, are original. And they added a few things and copies of a few things they found here. And they had smaller houses here as well, where they added things like carriages and things people offered. Here on the right hand side you see Emperor Augustus. A copy of the original is in the museum. There is no guard here at night, so that's why we don't have original things. Here people would steal them. Hang on. So this wall is original, the outer one, and the steps down here are also original ones. Here our biggest temple. You're going to see it soon from the other side. That's the one for Mercury. And Mercury, he was a god for travelers, commerce, thieves. Quite a lot of things actually. And if you wanted to sacrifice something, you gave it to the priest who did it for you, and they usually sacrificed it in front of the building. It could have been some crops, some wine, some animals. So really a variety of things that you can donate to your gods. Money. And if you donated wine, they just poured it out. If you donated, sacrificed a live animal, they did kill this poor thing, burned parts of it, and gave parts away, also for poor people. And here we had a fountain. And they found the head of a Mercury statue in the fountain. And many more things. So let's have a look. That's what you did find here. Nice statues, reliefs, some coins. And you see the temple was, sadly damaged, destructed when Christianity became a state religion. Taking you down here. Oh yeah, I mean, we got a chariot for Ben-Hur, so we actually could reenact it here, parts of it. You see, they had several smaller temples. One of them also dedicated to a Celtic goddess. We are going to see her later on. I'm just trying not to fall over here. It's a bit slippery today, and you don't want to see me falling down. So here we had a tiny house, and here they actually took the things to that people sacrificed. So if you sacrificed money, more stuff. They kept it here in one of those smaller buildings. It's not so big, and it's 1st, 2nd century. But I mean, you needed all kinds of tools, things like that, so you needed those tiny houses. And now let's go and see who were our main gods here. I've got to warn you, we are going to see a statue of Mercury, but he doesn't wear trousers, so close your eyes if you don't want to see a naked person. But first, let's meet Epona. She was a goddess of the Celtic people, so I'm trying to squeeze you through here. And the Romans actually they adopted the Roman gods, the other gods, so the Celtic gods. And she was a goddess of horses. Yeah, and I mean, even today, we sometimes have this tradition, to throw coins in water if we want to come back or if we want to be lucky. So it's still a tradition people sometimes do. And the colors here, that's the original. They reconstructed it and they believe it looked like this. And that's a small one for Epona. And now I'm going to take you to the bigger one. And the bigger one is Mercury. And I hope YouTube doesn't kill this video. It's just history. I'm going to show you Mercury, but only for a short while, because you see, yep, he's naked, so trying to focus on his face, zooming in. And during Roman times, all statues, they were actually colorful, so they were, lifelike. Oops, sorry. So you see, could be a real man. They also believe the different colors were the original ones. They did reconstruct it. I'm taking you to the side, zooming out again quite soon. And showing you our wall decoration without showing you naked Mercury again. And they found his head in the fountain, so it was really dedicated to him, this temple. Taking you out again here, and that's how they believe it looked like when people sacrificed to the gods. So you could watch the priest doing it, and they always did it on an altar in front of the temple. And the temple is actually a Gallo-Roman one. That's typical architecture we got here, and I'm trying not to fall down here. So you got all those pillars. You can walk around this temple, and that's the typical architecture they used here. So we are going to see the column that they found. We are going to see the entrance, and I'm going to take you through the woods towards the car. But first, our Roman sewage system, that's still the original one. So whenever it rains, you will have water in here. And today they use this temple as a museum. You can marry here. And I'm not sure if it's a good idea to walk down here. Let me check. So they use it for bigger events, but it's free to enter, so you can spend a whole day here if you want to. But first, let's take a look towards Trier at the back. So the village down here, that's Tawern. Small village down here, and the town at the back, that's Trier. So I'm trying to zoom in. So you see it's a back, that's where you want to go to. And it's about 20 miles. So you can still walk it on the old Roman road if you want to. It takes you probably a day or so, half a day, depending on how fast you are. In Roman times we had no woods here, so it was on top of a hill next to your main Roman road, and people were really glad when they managed to reach this point. because it was like, yeah, I will be at my destination tomorrow. Turning you around again and giving you a nice view of our temple here. And here it just says when it was reconstructed, the names of the mayors, and yeah, work done by our State Museum in Trier. They found this column here. They did reconstruct it. On the side we had Hercules and Juno, so you can still see our Hercules here. Oh yes, all statues were colored in antiquity, so, but later on people believed, white is pure antiquity, was considered the good, pure times. So we are used to see them white, but they were actually all colorful. And they found rest of the colors, remains of the colors. That's why they decided, let's show people how it really was. And here our Juno. They also got a nice reconstruction of this column here, and you see colorful again. Must have been really impressive if you came just out of the woods, just walked up the hill and saw this. So you walked for a long time and then you see pretty statues, a huge column, a temple. So let me take you towards our map in front of the building. I want to show you where we are. And let me show you a little bit of our nature here. But first, here that's modern, that's a kitchen and toilets, but toilets are still closed because of winter. And that's Mercury again. And here we got actually two maps. So Tawern is where we are. Trier, where people probably went to. And that's our Roman street map. And if you want to see a modern map, it's down here. And now let's go through our woods. Let's have a look at some early spring flowers. I hope I don't fall. It was a nice walk up, but it's much easier taking you down, quite steep. I added more tours. I have to add some on TV as well. So that's something I'm going to do for the weekend. I already have a few more on my YouTube. We are going to be in Luxembourg on Monday. We are going to the big band next to our Saar River in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And we're going to go to Trier, to parts where I haven't taken you. So you're going to see the southern part of our town and a bit of our northern part. And there are a few more things I still have to schedule. I'm going to take you to the vineyards again, but we still need about, I would say, 3 weeks more to get more wildflowers and to get a little bit more life into our vineyards. And here, let's take a last view up. So that's our pretty temple here. Oh, I can even hear a bumblebee. And I've seen a ladybug coming up. So it's nice and warm today, but we expect a temperature drop of about 10 degrees for tomorrow. So I'm glad I can show you our woods today. And let's just enjoy nature a little bit. Sometimes all you need is a little bit of nature, some flowers, some birds. I'm going to walk slowly because it's slippery and trying to show you just some parts of our woods here. And as you know, I'm afraid of spiders, but we usually don't have dangerous ones. That's why I'm showing you the spider web, and I don't see a spider here. And it's quite early for our trees to get leaves. We are end of March. So nature is early this year. So look down here, quite steep. Yeah, I met a hiker earlier. He's going to stay here probably for a night, doing a long hike. Told me really steep, 19% here. And I mean, we are not far from the village, but it's quiet, it's nice. And for the next few meters, I'm watching my step, guys. There is more nice nature coming up. I just need to get through this muddy part without falling over. And now you realize why I'm taking you down and didn't take you up with me. Up would have been really a lot of heavy breathing and not so nice. So let me see. I did even see somebody with a bike coming down here when I walked up. So you can bike here in our woods. You just have to pay attention to hikers. And it's open for everybody here. You just shouldn't be in the woods when there is a hunt going on. But they usually put signs out. And here it's really slippery, so Sorry for not watching my chat. And managed the worst part. You see lots of pretty purple flowers here already. Down here, sit at height. I'm also waiting for our bluebells to arrive. But first, more. Do you hear the birds? Really nice and quiet here at the moment. Lots of bird song. And the beginning of our wildflower season. I hope I can take you to more wildflowers. It really depends on the weather. I mean, you can't go through the woods when it's raining. At least I can't with a gimbal. I'm going to fall over. And in summer times it's really nice and cool down here. Yeah, I did see something like a bench over here coming up. Well, it was a bench once. At the moment it's just some wood. It looks quite nice. You see, nature takes the things back. So we had a tiny bench here in former times. Lots of spring flowers here. And everything here looks purple and blue. And we came from up the hill, so really a nice walk. Interesting moss, interesting nature.